Queendom of Nyx. United we stand, divided we fall.
In the darkest of nights, in the coldest of days, it's our comfort. In the dark of night, the winds of change our night. Our freedom is unmatched and just we fight for freedom and justice. Rise, Queendom of Nyx. We rise, we march, we fight, we live. Rise, Queendom of Nyx. United we stand, divided we fall. In the darkest of nights, in the coldest of days, it's our comfort. In the dark of night, the winds of change our night. Our freedom is unmatched and just we fight for freedom and justice.
Rise, Queendom of Nyx. We rise, we march, we fight, we live.
In the dark of night, our freedom is unmatched and just we fight for freedom and justice.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Austin Elsler, King Elsler the First, the co-king of the Queendom of Nyx. Today we will be talking about another old story of the Queendom of Nyx's experimental days, and that is, why did the Queendom of Nyx reduce many of its elections and voting systems? If you look at the earlier history of the Queendom of Nyx, you'll notice something very different from today. More elections, more legislative bodies. Yeah, there's a lot. More voting systems. At one point, Nyx operated with structures such as a House of Representatives, the unicameral legislature, National Assembly, multiple electoral processes, various voting procedures, and governmental sessions. But over time, many of those systems were either reduced, restructured, or abolished entirely. So why did that happen? In its early years, Nyx experimented heavily with governmental structure. Like many developing projects, the nation explored different systems to determine what worked best. This included experimenting with broader legislative systems, elections, voting procedures, councils, and parliamentary-style institutions. At the time, these systems helped Nyx organize participation and test different governmental ideas. However, over time, an important reality became clear. Nyx was still a developing nation-building project with a relatively small population and limited institutional scale. Maintaining large legislative structures and constant electoral systems for a small and evolving nation became increasingly impractical. Many of the institutions existed more in theory than in operational necessity. As Nyx matured, the government began reevaluating which systems were genuinely useful and sustainable. Eventually, Nyx began streamlining its governmental structure. Rather than maintaining multiple overlapping legislative bodies, constant election cycles, the nation shifted toward a more centralized and monarchy-focused governance model. This transition simplified administration and allowed the government to focus more directly on long-term nation building and development. As part of this transition, royal decrees became the primary mechanism for implementing laws and reforms. Instead of relying on large legislative procedures for every governmental action, the monarchy assumed a more direct governing role within the constitutional structure of Nyx. This reflected the evolving identity of the Queendom as a hybrid monarchical system. Importantly, not all elections disappeared. Certain offices and systems within Nyx may still involve elections, appointments, consultation, or participation, depending on the role and structures involved. Like the National Consuls Bureau. There's only one elected office now. All the other electable offices have been abolished. Other than the Chief Constable of the National Consuls Bureau. That is the only nonpartisan electable office that we have in the Queendom of Nyx at this time. The goal was not to eliminate all public involvement, of course, but to create a system better suited to the actual size and development stage of the nation. Ultimately, the shift happened for several reasons. Government simplification, institutional restructuring, practical limitations of scale, time and administrative efficiency, evolution of Nyx's constitutional identity. greater focus on long-term development rather than maintaining unnecessary bureaucracy, which was there was a lot. And at times, people just don't have time to participate in democratic stuff. So, Nyx moved away from systems that no longer matched its needs and focused instead on structures that could realistically function during its growth phase. The early elections and legislative systems of Nyx were part of an important experimental period in the nation's history, but as Nyx evolved, its government evolved with it. The result was more streamlined structure centered around monarchy, administration, and long-term development rather than maintaining large-scale systems designed for much larger states. Have a good day.
In the darkest of nights, in the coldest of days, you found.
If you're interested in learning more about the Queendom of Nyx and what it means to become a Nyxian, visit us at queendomofnyx.com to explore the community and learn more. Thank you for watching, and thank you for following the journey of the Queendom of Nyx.
Rise, Queendom of Nyx. United we stand, divided we fall.
In the darkest of nights, in the coldest of days, it's our comfort. In the dark of night, the winds of change are